everyone, Chivos here, bringing you another Hyundai A-League Fixture review for the fixtures of week 16. Now what a week it was, and what a lot of goals there were. Now the first game of the weekend saw Adelaide United beat Brisbane Roar 4-1. A dominating performance from Adelaide United saw their amazing run of form continue with yet another win. An own goal helped Adelaide open the scoring early on, but a questionable penalty decision saw Brisbane equalise just after half-time. Now, if you haven't seen the penalty, it looks like Enrique trips over his own feet and a penalty is given. From what I believe, there is slight contact, but definitely not enough to go down, and it's very questionable. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? I'd like to hear your opinion. But then, Bruce Jitte scored 2 goals in 10 minutes for Adelaide, which ended his goal-scoring drought, which I hear to be 20-odd games and nearly 24 hours of football. How is that for a drought? That is ridiculous. From an ex-Socceroo to a 20-hour goal drought, that is ridiculous. Now, Karuska added a 4th in the 94th minute, which saw Brisbane Roar concede 4 goals for the second time in their last 2 fixtures. Adelaide United will be happy to continue closing the gap between the top 5, while Brisbane clearly missing the likes of Borello and McLaren. They could have been clear at the top, but they are struggling, and 2 losses in a row has really hurt them. Now, the second game of the weekend saw Western Sydney Wanderers beat a 10-man Central Coast Mariners 2-1. Bridge opened up the scoring early for Western Sydney. A mistake at the back from Storm Roo. What a name that is, Storm Roo. Saw Bridge collect the ball and slot home to give Western Sydney the lead. Liverpool legend Luis Garcia was subbed on for the Mariners on the hour mark and made a real impact because 7 minutes later, something happened. Garcia helped start a play which ended up seeing Ferreira score an equaliser for Central Coast, but that wasn't it. Nick Montgomery made the ultimate error when going studs up into a challenge on Mabratu. Now, the Central Coast captain was shown a straight red card, left his team to hang on to a draw with 10 minutes to go, but ultimately his recklessness, that's a big word, recklessness, cost Central Coast. Sandslab managed to score the winning goal for Western Sydney in the 88th minute. The win does see Western Sydney climb back to the top of the table, while Central Coast still struggled to get from the foot of the table. Now, the third game of the weekend, this is a huge game. Not really the huge game, it's a huge result. It saw Perth Glory, of all teams, beat Newcastle Jets 6-1 in a 7-goal demolition job. Trivunovic opened up the scoring for Newcastle in the 14th minute when he headed a corner past Ante Kovic. Now, it looked like Newcastle were off to a flyer. Normally, if you score the first goal, you're going to dominate the game, but it wasn't the case today. Harold equalised for the visitors 10 minutes later when he also scored a header like Trivunovic did. Diego Castro added a second for Glory just before halftime, but that's not where the controversy started. Nigel Bogard was sent off in the dying seconds of the first half injury time, and ultimately it changed the whole game for Newcastle Jets and also for Perth Glory, because that is when the floodgates opened. Perth Glory picked up their third when Mullen accidentally deflected a cross into the back of his own net, and Harold added his second and Glory's fourth in the 54th minute of the game, and by then it was well beyond reach for Newcastle Jets. No chance of them getting back. It was really just them trying to defend and not concede. So Grant scored his first ever goal at the age of 21 in the 74th minute and added the 5th goal for Glory. It was his 21st birthday the day before, then adding his first ever A-League goal. How is that? I mean, that is a huge thing there. But then Castro scored his second and the final goal of the game with 2 minutes left to go. The win does see Glory climb the table. They've picked up points in their last 2 games, and they picked up their first away win of the season. So that's going to be huge for their confidence. Newcastle Jets obviously picked up a win last weekend. They failed to capitalise on the form, and ultimately they've dropped a position. So not good there for Newcastle, and Perth Glory finding the back of the net finally. So the fourth game of the weekend saw Melbourne City beat Wellington Phoenix 3-1. Not too many goals, 4, still decent, but top quality goals. Now, Fornaroli opened up the scoring and added to his tally with his 11th minute strike. Nevio scored the second for City when he volleyed home from close range on the half-hour mark. Nevio and Fornaroli, what a partnership those two are turning out to be. Fornaroli did manage to make a record, which is he scored against all other 9 Hyundai A-League teams in 16 fixtures. So 16 games is all it took for him to score a goal against each opponent. So that is an A-League record. So Nevio added his second and City's third just after half time. A lovely assist from Aaron Moy, who received the ball, lays it off to Nevio. He strikes with the right foot across goal. It's 3-0 for Melbourne City. The game looks all set, all finished, all done. But then, Wellington grab a consolation goal in the 65th minute from Rolly Bonavaccia. Now, what a goal this was. He receives the ball, takes a touch, and strikes from 35 yards out. Beats Thomas Sorensen. And I guarantee you that is going to be one of the goals of the season, if not the goal of the season. Absolutely fantastic 35-yard strike. Could not have asked for anything better. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. It was only a consolation. And Wellington failed to win yet again. No, the win sees Melbourne City keep in reach with the group at the top, while Wellington Phoenix are now winless in their last 7 fixtures. They start off the season so well. They haven't won in 7, and they're slowly sliding down the table. But the final game of the weekend saw my team, Melbourne Victory, beat Sydney FC 1-0 in the Big Blue Derby. An own goal from German was enough to see Melbourne Victory pick up the 3 points, climb the table, and still be in contention for back-to-back titles. Now, I've already reviewed this fixture. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can watch that review. Make sure you check that out so it gives a bit more depth about the match. But without further ado, let's get on to the Hyundai A-League ladder and see where things stand for this week. So here we go. This is the table. Western Sydney have gone top. Brisbane Roar dropped from 1st to 3rd in quite a different looking table this weekend. A lot of changes. Only 2 teams have kept their original spot, so we'll look over that now. Western Sydney 30 points, top the table. Melbourne City have climbed. They're on 28 points. Brisbane Roar have lost again, but they're still 3rd. They're still on 28 points. And if you look, Melbourne Victory did beat Sydney FC. We picked up 3 points. We climb up to 4th on equal goal difference, but as you can see here, I think we're doing better than them. We've won more games, drawn less, but we have lost more, which is a bit of a problem. But if you do look at things now, the top 5 are very close. There's 3 points between 1st and 5th, so anyone can win the title. Things are getting tighter and tighter, and every game is going to matter from here on out. Now, Adelaide United comfortably in 6th position. They're only 4 points off 5th, but they are 7 points ahead of 7th. So looks like Adelaide United currently are going to be the final team in the top 6, unless they underperform and Perth Glory continue to pick up some points. Now, Perth Glory obviously pick up a win. It pushes them up to 7th. Wellington Phoenix lost. Newcastle lost. Central Coast also picked up a loss. But as you can see, Perth Glory the only team to go up. It's because of goal difference. They managed to bag 5 extra goals, so they've done well. And not only that, all 3 teams are on 16 points. So 7th, 8th, and 9th all on 16. They all have a 7-point gap between 6. So these 3 teams still can be included in the finals race, but I don't think it's likely. As I said, Adelaide United really need to make some mistakes. But if you do check here, Central Coast Mariners, they're done. Finished. Season over. Rebuild for next season. But we'll go to the important thing here, the stats chart. As you see, Fornaroli added to his tally this weekend. He's now on 13. Bessart Brisha didn't bag a goal this weekend. He sits on 11 still. Nevio bagged 2. He's slowly climbing. He's on 8. Nichols on 7. Moy on 7. 3 Melbourne City players in the top 5. It's because they are scoring goals. 40 so far. Just 15 more than Western Sydney and Melbourne. Victory. Assists. Aaron Moy added another. He's on 11. Browich, Jamison, Nevio, and Carney as well. Saves. Thomas Sorensen, 75. I think he's going to get it this season. He's He's really saving Melbourne City and keeping them in a lot of matches. So it's good for the Great Dane to be doing that. Obviously, Miguel Angel Garcia Perez is still up there. 1,090 passes. Sanchez is slowly catching him, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And as you can see, Brisbane Roar passed the ball quite a lot, but they're not scoring. They've scored 1 in their last 2 fixtures, so they need to find the back of the net a bit more. And then, of course, most clearances. German, of course, Durante up there with 60. Kisnorbo with 57. Lee Broxham and Manny Muscat round out the clearances chart for this weekend. But that is it for today's match review, or fixture review if you'd like to call it. Make sure you subscribe to see more of the match reviews and even some more match previews. There should be one out tomorrow. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like button. And hopefully I'll catch you guys next time.